Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we're talking about a very popular kind of movie.
That's right. Today we're talking about Twilight and all the creatures that you can find in this new movie.
Okay, so the name of the movie is Twilight. Let's take a listen to today's dialogue. We'll be back in a moment to talk about what's going on.
You want to go to the movies tonight?
Sure. What's playing?
The new Twilight movie!
Twilight? As in the vampire movies? No way am I watching that. I don't understand why everyone is so excited about these films about vampires. It doesn't make sense.
Of course it does. It's like a modern tale of Romeo and Juliet. You have a couple that is in love but can't be together because they are so different. Add in the fact that immortality and superhuman strength is really sexy, and there you have it. Plus, the cast is hip. Young people that make the movie even more enticing.
I don't buy into that. I think it's just a fad. Pretty soon this will pass and everyone will be into werewolves or zombies.
All right, we're back. So now let's just jump into some vocab. Let's take a look at what we've chosen for you on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so in language takeaway today, Marco, we have 3 different kinds of creature or monster.
That's right. So if anyone knows about the movie Twilight, it's mostly about vampires.
That's right. So vampires are a kind of imaginary creature that like to suck people's blood.
Right.
They have long teeth.
That's right. So they look like people and they go out at night and they drink people's blood.
And they can't stand in the sunlight because they will die if they're in the sunlight.
That's right. All right. So we have vampires. And also another type of imaginary creature that we find here is werewolves. We can find werewolves.
Okay, so you know the word wolf. A wolf is an animal, but a werewolf is a man or a woman who turns into an animal when the moon is full.
Right. So you're a man or a woman by day, but then at night when there is a full moon, you transform into a wolf. So you are a werewolf.
And we have one other kind of monster here. This is a very disgusting kind of monster called a zombie.
All right. Also very popular in the movies, you have zombies. So they're people who are dead, but they're still alive.
That's right. So they can't think. All they want to do is eat other people. And they're usually very, very stupid, and you have to cut their heads off to kill them.
That's right. So zombies are also a very popular type of creature in these movies. So we have 3 creatures: vampires, werewolves, and zombies. But now let's move on to some of the other vocab that we found. When the friend was explaining about the movie and how it's very cool, she said that the cast is hip.
Okay, so something that is hip is also very cool. Mm-hmm. So a hip person is someone who is really interesting or cool or maybe up-to-date, current.
Right, very popular. Mm-hmm. So, for example, you can also talk about a place, a restaurant, or a club as being very hip.
That's right. So you can say, these days, bell-bottom pants are not hip anymore. They were hip in the 1970s.
That's right. So they're not cool, they're not popular, they're not up-to-date. Now, moving on to the end of that paragraph, we see that the explanation continued in saying that the movie makes it even more enticing, having a hip cast and a sexy theme.
So something that is enticing, it makes you want it, okay? Mm-hmm. So an enticing movie attracts people. Mm-hmm. So I find warm apple pie very enticing. It makes me want to eat it.
Okay, so something that is enticing basically makes you want to have it, or it makes you desire it.
Exactly.
All right, and our last word for language takeaway, when the friend was kind of skeptical and said, you know what, I think it's just a fad.
Okay, something is a fad if it is a passing trend. So it's not always popular. It's only popular for a short time.
So the word is fad, F-A-D. It sounds very similar to fat, but it's not. It's a fad.
Fad. So we can say that Twilight is a fad. It's something that's popular now, but that might not be popular in 2 years.
Exactly. So it's something that's very popular now, but maybe later it won't be. Like maybe, for example, Harry Potter was a fad.
Exactly. So that's language takeaway for today, but don't go anywhere. We still have some great phrases for you coming up in Fluency Builder.
You want to go to the movies tonight?
Sure. What's playing?
The new Twilight movie!
Twilight? As in the vampire movies? No way am I watching that. I don't understand why everyone is so excited about these films about vampires. It doesn't make sense.
Of course it does. It's like a modern tale of Romeo and Juliet. You have a couple that is in love but can't be together because they are so different. Add in the fact that immortality and superhuman strength is really sexy, and there you have it. Plus, the cast is hip. Young people that make the movie even more enticing.
I don't buy into that. I think it's just a fad. Pretty soon this will pass and everyone will be into werewolves or zombies.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at a couple of phrases we've picked out for you on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
The first phrase that we have today is related to this idea of going to the movies. And so one of the characters today said, "Sure, I want to go to the movies. What's playing?"
That's right. Now, this question is a key question, and you can use this whenever you want to know what movie is currently being shown at the theater or at the cinema.
Okay, so what movie is playing? There are many movies playing, or there are no good movies playing tonight.
That's right.
So a movie plays at a theater.
Exactly. So you want to know what movie is playing? You say, what movie is playing tonight? All right. So now for our next phrase, this is actually going back to the qualities of vampires. One of the people in the dialogue described vampires as having superhuman strength.
Okay, so in this case, super means more than. So superhuman strength is more than what's normal for a human being. So maybe a human can pick up a table, but superhuman strength means that if I have it, maybe I can pick up a car.
That's right.
Or something that's very unusual, very, very, very heavy.
That's right. So superhuman strength, we're talking about how strong you are. And then you can also mix it up with other qualities of a person. So for example, you can have superhuman speed. You're very, very fast.
Superman is someone who had both superhuman strength and superhuman speed.
That's right. So it's a way to describe a person having a quality that's more than normal. And for our next phrase, after superhuman strength and something that's really sexy, that person says, "And there you have it."
And there you have it.
So why do you end that sentence where, "And there you have it"?
And there you have it means, and that's the explanation why.
Okay.
So let's think of the question. The question is, why do people like these vampire movies? And the other person said, well, vampires are sexy and they're immortal and they have superhuman strength. And there you have it.
Right.
So that means, and that's why.
Okay, so it's usually this phrase, "and there you have it." You have to explain something or give a couple of ideas before you say it, before you use it.
All right, and exactly. And the key here is that, and there you have it, comes at the end of that statement. So
Always.
Well, why is Jim popular? You could say, well, he's funny, he's smart, he's good looking, and there you have it.
Right. Perfect. So you're basically saying, and that's the reason why. All right. And for our last phrase, when we were talking about a fad, the person said, pretty soon this will pass and everyone will be into werewolves or zombies. So this might seem a little bit confusing. What does it mean by everyone will be into werewolves and zombies?
Okay, so let's take a look at this as a phrase. To be into. I am into something. You are into something. This means I am interested in. Okay, so I could say I am into books and movies. Marco, what are you into?
So if I say I am into surfing and bungee jumping,
I would say it sounds like you're interested in, or it sounds like you like sports,
That's
extreme
right.
sports.
So you can be not only into activities, but you can be into a specific type of movies. For example, I'm really into horror movies.
And I could say I'm not into horror movies. I am into romantic comedies.
Okay. So it's another way of saying that you enjoy it or you like it or you realize some type of activity.
Exactly.
All right.
That's it for Fluency Builder. Let's take another listen to today's dialogue and we'll be right back.
You want to go to the movies tonight?
Sure. What's playing?
The new Twilight movie!
Twilight? As in the vampire movies? No way am I watching that. I don't understand why everyone is so excited about these films about vampires. It doesn't make sense.
Of course it does. It's like a modern tale of Romeo and Juliet. You have a couple that is in love but can't be together because they are so different. Add in the fact that immortality and superhuman strength is really sexy, and there you have it. Plus, the cast is hip. Young people that make the movie even more enticing.
I don't buy into that. I think it's just a fad. Pretty soon this will pass and everyone will be into werewolves or zombies.
All right, we're back. So obviously the dialogue revolves around Twilight and vampires, but mostly it's all about, as we said, something that's hip, that's current, that's popular now, but many times is also a fad.
That's right. So let's think. What was a fad from the 1980s?
I think the 80s, the fad was, maybe we can talk about the hairstyles. Men and women had those big kind of hairstyles, long in the back and very, very tall in the front.
That's right. So in the 80s, as far as fashion fads, things that were only popular for a short time, we had big hair and we had bright colors like electric pink and green and blue, and also those t-shirts that would change color when it was hot or cold.
Oh, those were really cool. I think
were
those
cool.
those should come back.
Those were super hip. Well, and now it's hip to wear 80s clothes.
Yeah.
So it's another fad.
Right, exactly. Because then that's called that you're being, you like, what is it? Like
Retro.
Retro, yeah.
Yeah, retro means you like to use styles from
70s,
from
the 80s.
a long time ago. So yeah, 70s style or 80s style.
And well, in the movies now, the fad before was magic and sorcerers. You had Harry Potter. Now it's turned to vampires.
That's right. I wonder what the fad will be in a couple of years. I don't agree with the person in today's dialogue. I don't think zombies will be a fad. There was a short period a couple of years ago when there were many, many zombie movies.
Yeah.
For example, Resident Evil or Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wonder in the future if we're going to be seeing movies about other things.
Yeah, I imagine maybe not in these creatures. I don't know. I guess vampires have always been kind of sexy because, as you know, they're immortal and
they're good looking.
They're usually very good looking and charming, and that's how they get their victims.
That's right.
But it's interesting to see. Let us know. We're really curious if there are any local fads in your country, because sometimes fads can be regional.
That's right. So let us know what you're into. Say, I'm into this. Our website is englishpod.com.
All right. We'll see you guys there.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Movie. Movie. A dead person who sucks the blood of a living person. Vampire. A story. Tale. A temporary fashion or notion. Fad. A wolf with extraordinary strength. Werewolves. A dead corpse likes to eat brain. Zombie. Live forever. Immortal. To lead on by exciting hope or desire. Entice. Cool, fashionable. Hip. Extraordinary power. Superhuman strength.
Let's try that faster.
Cool, fashionable. Hip. Movie. Movie. A dead person who sucks the blood of a living person. Vampire. Live forever. Immortal. A story. Tale. A temporary fashion or notion. Fad. A wolf with extraordinary strength. Werewolves. Extraordinary power. Superhuman strength. A dead corpse likes to eat brain. Zombie. To lead on by exciting hope or desire. Entice.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Fad. The fad was to wear purple shoes, so my dad bought purple shoes too. Fad. The yo-yo is a big fad. It will be unpopular in a year. Fad. I'm not going to follow the fad. I will do my own thing. Entice. I like to entice my brother to do the laundry by the allure of money. Entice. Can I entice you with some chocolate? Entice. I was enticed to the bar by the offer of free drinks. Hip. My dad thinks he is so hip. Maybe 10 years ago. Hip. Have you seen that new hip show? Hip. He is so hip. Everyone wants to be like him. Tale. My dad likes to tell the tale of how he caught the biggest fish. Tale. My brother is always telling the tall tale that he is an alien. Tale. My favorite tale is of vampires. Immortal. Nothing in this life is immortal, except maybe a vampire. Immortal. After winning the race, he felt immortal. Immortal. The spider just won't die. It's immortal.